Hello, good morning, and welcome aboard to AM News. My name is Denisia Pomaije. In our very first story, the National Disaster Management Organization in the Ashanti region has launched the Operation Stop Fire Disaster campaign. This is aimed at reducing the rising number of outbreaks in the region. About 30 markets have been targeted since October 2025, with intensified fire safety sensitization across Greater Kumasi. There's more in the following report.
The Operation Stop Fire Disaster Initiative is implemented jointly by NADMO, the Ghana Standards Authority, Express Gas, and the Ghana National Fire Service. Ghana currently records an average of 50 fire incidents daily, according to data from the Ministry of Interior covering the last quarter of 2024 and the first 2 months of 2025.
It has to do with fire outbreaks in the region. They are so rampant, so intense and devastating. So we checked data and reports from last year. The unfortunate details I can confirm to you is that on the average nationwide, there was about 50 fire outbreaks a day in the last quarter of 2024 and first 2 months of 2025. We are for Ashanti region. What can we do about it? The team met, we examined the reports, we studied them and picked the recommendations. You may be well aware, at NADMO we say prevention pays. So we agreed to do something about preventing the fires. That is how come we came up with the code OSFID 2025, that is Operation Stop the Fire Disasters, OSFID 2025.
Assistant Scientific Officer at the Ghana Standards Authority, Bafo Entry Nyama, said poor housekeeping, dusty environment, and the presence of ignition sources are major triggers of fire outbreaks. He urged the public to routinely monitor electrical appliances, especially those with thermostats such as freezers and cold rooms.
A lot of poor housekeeping situations in the market, a lot of cobwebs, a lot of dust, a lot of unhygienic conditions. Indirectly, they may not present a fire hazard, but scientifically and technically speaking, before you realize, a flammable gas is created. And then because there are a lot of ignition and fuel sources, a spark will come up, a flame will come up, and then there's a fire hazard or there's a burn. So let's all be cautious about the fact that when you are buying anything which has to be refrigerated at a certain critical temperature, you ask the vendor if you have a thermometer monitoring your device, be it a deep freezer or a cold room. I can tell none of you has ever done that, but it should be a part of our everyday routine.
David Opoku's report, read to you.
Now, the 2024 NPP running mate, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, has described the party's aspiring flag bearer, Dr. Bawumia, as the most marketable, visionary and idea-driven candidate capable of leading the NPP to a decisive victory in the 2028 general election. Speaking on PM Express with Evans Mensah, he stressed that Dr. Bawumia's innovative thinking, proven competence and also commitment to the party's future make him stand out, adding that he would always choose Dr. Bawumia as his preferred leader.
I say, of all my flag bearer friends who are contesting, Dr. Bawumia is the most marketed. He has said, if we say that 21st century is an ideas century, he has demonstrated a lot of ideas. Even his opponents have come around to accept. Before the elections, you heard somebody say, digitalization is not food. But the person comes into government and says, we have to continue digitalization. You get it? He has demonstrated knowledge, he's demonstrated wisdom, he's demonstrated brilliance, he's demonstrated through his public service excellence. If I, Matthew Opoku Prempeh, was to choose one person, he showed that he's not corrupt. If I, Matthew Opoku Prempeh, should choose one person, the whole Ghanaians give me their mandate and choose one person for us as president.
You choose Bawumia.
I'll choose Dr. Bawumia.
Mr. Kwabna Minta Kando has disclosed that Ghana risks facing a backlog of over 120,000 unemployed nurses by 2028 if decisive action is not taken to address the challenge. He said currently there are over 48,000 trained nurses and midwives awaiting recruitment into the public health system, with approximately 35,000 new graduates emerging each year to add to the bulk. The minister made these remarks at the 19th Biennial Delegates Conference of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association in Tamale.
The conference will discuss key issues including professional ethics, leadership development, welfare systems, and international recruitment of Ghanaian health workers. Government has pledged to clear the backlog of unemployed nurses, with the health minister assuring of his commitment to resolving the issue.
Today, over 48,000 trained nurses and midwives are awaiting recruitment into the public health system, with approximately 35,000 new graduates emerging each year. Ghana will face a backlog exceeding 120,000 unemployed nurses and midwives by 2028 if decisive action is not taken. This is not merely a labor challenge, it's a matter of national economic significance. It is in this context that government is implementing a managed migration strategy designed to provide ethical, structured, and mutually beneficial international opportunities for Ghanaian nurses and midwives, while safeguarding the strength of our domestic health. In 2025, the Mahama administration successfully concluded the recruitment process initiated by the previous government by facilitating the enrollment of 13,500 nurses and midwives onto the government payroll. I'm pleased to announce that by the end of this month, all individuals whose salary processes experience delays will receive their fares.
The president of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwife Association, Perpetua Ofori Ampofu, noted that the nurses' population density is improving, but still constrained at 129 nurses per 1,000 people.
Recent national assessments show our nurse population density is improving, yet still constrained. A reported nurse to population density of 1.99 nurses per 1,000 people, with deep regional and urban to rural disparities. This figure is a reminder that while we train many excellent nurses and midwives, distribution, retention, and opportunities to practice at full scale are ongoing challenges.
The Northern Regional Minister, Ali Adolf John, assured the NDC government is committed to addressing the nurses' unemployment issue.
I want to let you know that our government is a listening government. All we need is a bit of patience from us. When we invest in nursing and midwifery, we are investing in the overall economic health of the region.
Moving on, government and flag-bearer hopefuls have been urged to prioritize grassroots development, not just grand promises about turning Ghana into a broad. At the commissioning of projects in Kasum and Papeja, sponsor James Ali reminded leaders that over 36% of rural Ghanaians still rely on unsafe water sources. And according to a recent performance audit, about 60% of Ghana's schools lack basic toilet and water facilities. He argued that the real progress must begin at home through meaningful investment in underserved communities.
For the Kasum AME Zion Basic School and the Papeja community in the Abrase-Bukwa-Mankese district of the Central Region, better days are taking roots following the commissioning of a new 3-classroom block for the school and the newly constructed Papeja Water Project. The projects were made possible through the support of Infanta, a group of friends from Germany committed to improving lives in underserved communities. A member of the group, James Ali, while sharing the inspiration behind the intervention, urged government to prioritize local development rather than focusing on turning Ghana into what he described as abroad.
School has been done. Now we're coming to borehole side.
We wanted to help. We have helped the school and given the community a borehole. Communities like these are unable to support themselves, and it helps significantly to get that external support. They have boreholes but have no water in them. With this project, traveling long distances to access water will cease. It can be dangerous. We focused on these factors to help the communities.
Maybe 2 kilometers will come ahead, up to a hill to get water and go down to a hill. Do you know the danger that is going to happen on the way?
I tell government, abroad is here, not outside. Develop your own country. After, you can travel to explore other countries if you want. Ghana is where much development is needed.
What do you have in your country? What about the other side?
Students of the Tsitsi Asum AME Zion Basic School have been learning in dilapidated structures.
We need more the school because from class 1 to class 6, if it is raining, we can't sit there. The usually come to the GHS place, so we need more.
The new classroom block now offers a safer environment and a hope for better academic performance. However, the students say this should not mark the end of the support to the school.
We need more teachers, and we don't have ICT lab, and we need school bags, teachers' bags, and school desks to sit. We need the government to help that school because we don't have these things, so school is not very happy.
In Papeja, residents expressed gratitude to Infanta, noting that the new water project will significantly reduce the burden of walking long distances in search of water. We are very grateful for this new water project. We traveled long distance for water, but now that we have a source of water close to town, we are very happy. Infanta says it remains committed to transforming lives and promoting quality education, one remote community at a time. From Tsitsi Asum and Papeja, Abigail Lisol reports for JoyNews.
And back here in Accra, the Ministry of Works and Housing has paid a working visit to 3 stalled project sites of the ministry in the Greater Accra region as part of efforts to strengthen monitoring and also ensure timely completion. The sites visited include the improvement works on the Kanishi Drain Channel, with the reconstruction of the South Kanishi Bridge near the Kanishi Accra Academy stretch, the construction of a concrete drain at Weja SEC Phase 2, and some additional works on the Kanishi Drain Channel opposite the Accra Academy Odona stretch. Among the 3, only the Weja SEC project is nearing completion. Minister for Works and Housing Kenneth Ejay expressed disappointment over what he described as the slow pace of work. Mavi Sefakote has the rest of the story.
3 major projects within the Accra metropolitan area have stalled for several months. They are scheduled for completion in January 2026, July 2026, and August 2026, respectively. During his inspection tour of the project sites, the Minister for Works and Housing expressed dissatisfaction with the slow pace of work by the contractors. He shared his concerns with JoyNews.
As you saw, we first went to the Accra stretch, of which the job has delayed. But they've assured us that they're going to give us their work schedule, and then the ministry is going to ensure that they comply with that. And we're not going to leave any stone unturned. We're going to ensure that the work is done for the good people of Ghana to get the benefits of it. Because we all know what happens when there are floods. It's a big issue for the government. But I've also tasked them to also give us a schedule so that we will know the pace at which they are working, and also to be able to monitor and ensure that they meet timelines, because we don't want any kind of delays, so that next year we wouldn't have flooding issue, because these days we don't even know the rain pattern very well, so we should always be prepared for it.
The minister, however, commended the contractor on the Weja SCC project, noting the steady progress made so far.
This one was given 18 months, and he's done over 90%. So I just want to commend him for the good job that he's done. Kweyman is doing a good job. And as a ministry, if we are continuing definitely we will consider him for that project.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Hydrological Authority, Sylvester Dako, assured that at least 90% of the works of the Wager SCC will be completed before the next rainy season when issues related to it have been resolved.
It rains. When you go very downstream, you can see that the place is not flooded. The water is not getting downstream. It means there's some bottleneck in between, which I've indicated that we need to clear as a result of the continuation of this drain downstream. So we will see to that, ensure that this problem, if not completely resolved to a very large extent, about 99% or 98% should be cleared, at least by the start of the next rainy season in May or June.
The minister assures that all the projects will be completed within their designated timelines. Mama Visefa Cortege report for JoyNews.
It's now time for some business news with Samuel Kujubris.
All right, let's do business updates now by starting with what's happening on the currency market. Now, economist Dr. Edu Osusakode has urged the government to prioritize inclusive growth by focusing on the agriculture and industry sectors to transform Ghana's economic landscape. Dr. Sakode emphasizes that growing these sectors can drive economic transformation and create jobs. Speaking to Joy Business, Dr. Sakode highlighted the need for the government to strengthen agro-industrialization and link agriculture to value addition through processing industries.
When you read the IMF document or any development document, the key word that you see or phrase that you see is inclusive growth. Inclusive growth. In other words, you should grow your GDP in such a way that everybody is participating and everybody is benefiting, that nobody is left out. Because if you grow your GDP and it is only contributed by just 10% of the population, your GDP may be going higher, you may achieve a higher per capita income, but income distribution will be skewed. So we, as a country, we must pursue inclusive growth. How? We must go to the base. The base of our economy is agriculture and manufacturing. Today, our services sector is growing faster than agriculture and manufacturing. It is not bad, but the reason we are concerned is that you need certain specialized skills to be in the services sector, like being insurance, banking, like even the work you are doing in the service sector, the work I do, I'm in the service sector. You need to qualify to be a lecturer before you can be in the service sector. But you don't need any specialized skills, or you need low skills to be in agriculture. You need low skills to be in manufacturing, to be a mechanic. And so these two sectors must really grow faster than the service sector. Then we can pursue, or we can have a good appreciation of an inclusive growth. When we have an inclusive growth where inequality is reducing and income distribution is better, then we can have a very sound economy where the upper middle income status will not be far from us. And in that situation, it will come with better economic transformation. It will come with good infrastructure. It will come with good quality education and healthcare and lower poverty.
Away from that, senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Benjamin Amoah says the Bank of Ghana's decision to intervene in the foreign exchange market is justified, arguing that such measures help stabilize the city and ensure the economy's gains are more equitably distributed Speaking to Joy Business, he noted that it is a good time for government to pursue industrialization.
Of course, you also want to ask, what is the role of BOG when it comes to the value of the Ghana cedis? The role of BOG is to make sure that regularly the BOG will come onto the market to help support the CD as and when it is needed. So if the BOG or the economy itself has over time been able to build enough reserves, and we have been able to attain that optimal level of international reserves that we need to support the currency, any excess above that optimal value should be released onto the market. Look, we need to ask ourselves, are we not benefiting from the appreciation in the value of Ghana cedis? The answer is yes. Compare price levels now to price levels in the past. If the economy has created value and a channel of distributing the value across the entire population is to strengthen the Ghana cedis so that we all benefit, I see it as a fair way of distributing the value created through a stronger local currency so that we all benefit, because at least fuel prices have declined, inflation is down, which is a fair way of distributing the wealth created than to keep the reserves and not to intervene on the market. So if BOG has more available, why not supply the market with it so that the currency can, of course, appreciate? But we should not forget that exporters are also complaining.
All right.
Within this time is a time for us to pursue industrialization and commercialization. Why? Because it is now cheaper to import heavy-duty equipment, heavy-duty plant, heavy-duty machinery to support our industrialization drive. The city will not stay this way forever.
All right.
This is the time for us to be deliberate. If we want to change the structural phase of the economy, then let's support the importation of heavy-duty plants and machinery that can be used to industrialize the country.
Let's wrap up the business update with what's happening on the commodities market. That's all in business update. Back to you, Denesia Poma Ajay.
Thank you, Ahanta Pili, Samuel Kujibrace. And that's it for AM News. Don't forget that if you want more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Denesia Poma Ajay. Have a wonderful Wednesday.